towards an understanding of environmental aesthetics by Preeti Ranjan Ghosh. Environment means what surrounds us. It may be living or non-living things. It includes physical, chemical, and other natural forces. Aesthetic, that has come from the Greek word aesthesis, means perception by senses. Apart from the sensory awareness, to the mind, aesthetic is the cognitive act of describing and explaining that experience. That experience may be positive or negative. So, aesthetic value is assigning a value to an object based on its appearance and emotional effect. Though there were discussions and descriptions on the aesthetics of nature centuries ago, only in 20th century environmental aesthetics began to deal with the aesthetic values of the environment and began its role in going deep into the environmental issues. Actually, in North America and in Europe, wild nature was often feared rather than appreciated for aesthetic qualities before 18th century. It was Immanuel Kant, who was born in 1724 and who died in the year 1804, who talked about the disinterested pleasure that lays at the root of appreciating the aesthetic qualities of nature, especially its beauty and sublimity. Kant's ideas influenced Romanticism and the nature worship expressed through the literature, music, and visual arts of the 19th century. Kant's aesthetic theory elucidates that the beauty of nature is associated with delightful, pleasing, perpetual qualities and tranquil contemplation, whereas the sublime is associated with a negative pleasure on one seeing towering cliffs, raging seas, and vast deserts. The poetry of William Wordsworth, who was born in the year 1770 and who died in the year 1850, was notable for its deep aesthetic engagement with nature. John Ruskin, who was born in the year 1819 and who died in the year 1900, his Modern Painters, which was published in the year 1873, talked about the aesthetic, scientific, and spiritual sensitivity shown for nature in landscape paintings. William Gilpin, who was born in the year 1724 and who died in the year 1804, with his theory of the picturesque, influenced the conservation movement that developed in the United States in the 19th century. The transcendentalist aesthetic of Henry David Thoreau, who was born in the year 1817 and who died in the year 1862, brought reverence to wilderness worship. His Walden, which was published in the year 1854, that narrated his experiment of living close to nature at Walden Pond, grew receptivity to understand landscapes and wilderness worship. Thus, transcendentalists stood against the dehumanizing effects of technology and urban civilization. Thus, wild nature became a source of spiritual regeneration and a messenger of profound moral truths. This environmental aesthetics is also found in Aldo Leopold, who was born in the year 1887 and who died in the year 1948, and in his A Sand County Almanac, where he combines ecological knowledge and aesthetic sensitivity in valuing environments. Thus, the discussions of philosophical aesthetics, landscape theory and practice, and early conservation literature together form the historical foundation of environmental aesthetics. Environmental philosophers like Rolston go deep into the principles of aesthetics and ethics and argue for environmental education. It will promote a responsibility for well informed aesthetic appreciation and will encourage people to care for the environment. Thus, environmental aesthetics has brought philosophical attention to issues in aesthetics as they relate to environments, natural objects within environments, and natural phenomena and processes. As the principal aim of environmental aesthetics is to seek a philosophically informed understanding of aesthetic value and judgment, it has had and it will have its significant role in environmental disciplines and practices.